What happens when you take two guys from New York who absolutely love to talk and give them a license to rant? You get your hosts, John Peasy and Mikey Sausage.
John,
hello, Mikey.
Well, that cut off
How are
pretty
you?
quick. I don't know if I don't know if my headset's so loud or you're just hot as hell right now. I don't know.
I can lower my mic if you want. Yes, I'm hot as hell.
Okay. So the most important question I have right before we get started is, what'd you have for dinner?
Why would you ask that?
I'm curious.
You really want to know?
Yeah, I'm curious. That curious.
I actually just had white rice, broccoli, and chicken.
Was it Chinese food?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought your wife cooked or something. I don't know.
No, she cooked. She cooked the guy that came to my door.
No, I know your wife cooks like very, very well. So I was
Usually,
hoping it was
really well.
I was hoping it was something that was gonna, give me inspiration because I didn't eat dinner yet, and I was looking for inspiration.
Oh, yeah, I just had a little of that, and then I now I have a little cup of coffee, and I'm a happy man.
So I know your wife cooks so well. I'm sitting here and I'm going, I need inspiration, and he comes back with chicken, broccoli, and white rice from the guy.
I had some of your very simple stuff, very, very simple, and I feel very strong. I'm real good.
Now, what is going to be the late meal for tonight? That's the question.
You know, I will. It's 7:30 here on the East Coast. I will not eat until probably now 12:30 tonight, maybe 1 o'clock, and I'll probably have something like crackers and cheese or egg whites. Yeah.
No chicken, leftover chicken cutlets.
Nah. Maybe popcorn. I'm trying to keep it real, Mike. Too old. Trying to keep the body healthy.
How are your shows been going? How's the comedy world?
Bananas.
Yeah.
Very busy.
Busy?
Yes.
Really?
Very busy. Beautiful.
Making a lot.
Very,
making
very
a lot.
busy.
Making a lot of
Atlantic
money.
City Thursday.
Making a lot of
Atlantic
money.
City.
Yeah.
No, I'm making a living. Thursday,
Hello,
Atlantic City, Friday.
Hello, IRS.
I just said making a living. That's all.
Yeah.
I'm happy. In all honesty, I am joyfully happy to be out doing what I like and making people laugh. I get just as much out of it as they do. I really do. It's just really nice to see people laugh. And it's nice to see people coming out, sitting shoulder to shoulder without a mask and enjoying each other's company.
And you get paid for it. That's right.
No, yeah. Well, you'll have to eat, but yeah. But it's not even about the money.
So if you go by what people say, I don't know, like most people say, is if you can make a living doing what you love, you're a very lucky man.
I am blessed. Super
very
blessed.
Lucky man. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I tell you the truth, I said it many, many times. If somebody just dumped $1 million on me and said, here, you won the lottery, I would still go out and do it for free for people that need it the most. If I could. I say that now, I'd like to still do it for people. I mean, it's hard making a living and trying to donate things, which I do, but it'd be so much fun to be able to
No, you're a charitable guy. I know that. And also, and for your business that you're in, you live a very integrity-filled, honest life as a businessman, which is probably
Where do I send that check
important.
to?
No. No, it's true.
Why are we talking about my business? How's creating fresh sausages for the human race?
Well, I mean,
how is the slaughter of your animals?
No, I don't slaughter the animals. I just take them, and when they're done already, and then the people have to eat. It's getting a little better. It's getting since the pandemic and very
Prices
hard.
Gone up, haven't they?
Well, what happened was that there wasn't a lot of people working. I just noticed that. So I took my sister to Atlantic City Wednesday. She was calling me Tuesday night. She says, I have off Wednesday. I want to go to Atlantic City. As you know, she took care of my mom for so many years with the dementia, and she never got out, and my mom passed. Now she has some time. And I was like, I don't want to go to Atlantic City. I said, you know what? Let me take her, I said, all right, I'll take you. So we went down. And we had a nice day together. And then she said, I'm starving. I want to go eat. I said, well, you could eat anywhere. We're in the Borgata. So we could eat the Old Homestead. We could eat in the Wolfgang Park. And then she goes, I'm starving. I want to eat quickly. So they have some place there like, like a diner,
exactly.
at the end where they got the gelato and all that stuff.
I go there all the time. There's a Starbucks there too.
Yeah, correct. So I go in there. Oh, no, not that place. That's the place we went and we had the roast beef and the grilled cheese with the guy who passed away.
Went to the other side. The other side.
Yeah. So at the other side, we sit down and they gave you this menu, and the menu had like 8 items on it, and like nothing, like some starters, like a mozzarella stick, something. Then they had like a Philly cheesesteak, a hamburger, a prime rib.
You wanted to eat quick, so that's perfect.
A pasta. No, but it was usually it's like a whole menu, like a diner. You know how a diner menu is? It's got so many items. And I said to the guy, what happened? He goes, can't find any chefs to work. So they have, have nobody to work. He said because
Woodlock Pines, and Woodlock Pines is a theater, and I usually do one show, and there's like 500-600 people. They did 2 shows, and I said, hey, since COVID is slowing down, you're on fire. And he goes, no, we don't have enough staff to handle 600 people. We broke the shows in half because they had less people to serve drinks and clean up and all that kind of stuff. So again, it's a labor issue.
And the manager came over and he said, listen, I heard you commented about the short menu. I apologize. No, I'm in the wholesale meat business. I get you. I understand what's going on. He says, we pay these guys $800, $1,000 a week, to work as a short order cook. And they're making $800 to stay home. So for another $200, they don't come to work. He says they stay home. So that
should stop. Because September they just changed the rules.
Yeah, it stopped now. So hopefully, I think some starting to normalize, prices starting to come down now, and
really, I'm so happy to hear this.
Yeah, because I was just looking at a menu. My sister said there's a new place in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn, open up called Lombardo's on 3rd Avenue in Brooklyn, and I just saw their menu. It's $45 for veal Milanese. That's a breaded, veal chop with salad, right? And then that's
my favorite meal.
Spaghetti and meatballs, like $29. And my sister said, "Isn't that crazy?" I said, "The beef and the pork and the chicken, everything is very expensive right now. So, it's crazy."
But see, that is inflation, and inflation is what they call the invisible tax. Because you don't really, it's not being personally saying, hey, we're going to charge you 13% more on your dollar. It just do it and you don't feel it. But this is all just a scam, because I drive through McDonald's and it says, starting at $15 an hour to work for $15 an hour at McDonald's.
You see McDonald's prices are up 25%.
But the point is, if you get paid more and you feel like you're getting paid more as a hourly gig employee, but then you spend more to purchase it, so nothing has changed.
But that's what I said. No, that's what I said when they during the last 4 years or whatever, they were talking about raising the minimum wage. We went to the Brooklyn Chamber of Commerce. So when we sat in there, the politicians came in and they were talking about it. I said, hey, I'll pay my people $30 an hour. I don't care. I'm just going to pass it on. I'm going to pass it on in my product.
Right, it goes down the pike. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's where we are right now.
It's fine.
That's the case.
It's fine.
I don't mind. Look at you and me. We're like economists now. We're like economists. We know nothing about finances. You're making sources. I'm telling jokes. We're talking like we're suddenly like we should be on Fox News. Business.
I know, but don't say Fox. We'll be
CNN,
canceled.
Whatever.
All right. Tell me about our guest, Johnny.
So this is exciting, and I'm going to tell you why. Because I've never spoken to a person that's channels, but she's a channeler, and she has this wonderful book out called Lessons from 12 Archangels. And I have a bio here, and I'll just read, but more important than the bio, this woman is a very special person. As a child, her name is Belinda. As a child, Belinda communicated with angels and loving beings in heaven. And when she turned 12, she turned off her special heavenly radio receiver and decided to become a scientist. She did all of this so she could rely on the logical and rational part of her brain, and earned 2 master's degrees, one in microbiology and one in environmental science. All of her effort paid to be practical and rely on tangible evidence was blown away the day while she was working in a pediatric oncology lab. Archangel Gabriel visited her and changed all she believed and she knew about herself, life, and earth. Now Belinda loves to work with the 12 archangels and the Ascended Masters to relay their transformational and deepest healing messages through personal consultations, channel readings, and online classes and live webinars. So she does live online courses as well as private lessons for healing answers from these angels. And so she's in constant contact with the archangels, which is, mind-boggling to me to think about. And her name is Belinda Womack. And I am honored and thankful to have Belinda Womack here today. We'd like to welcome you. Thank you for coming in, Belinda. There you go.
Thank you for having me.
Looking great. And Belinda, I believe, is up in the mountains of the greater Northwest. Belinda, before we even get started, I was wondering if you can tell us a little bit more about your past, because a lot of people don't understand what a channeler is and how exactly this catalyst for you to become a channeler with the archangels. Well, I understand in the description and the bio of how it happened, but how does a person go from being a kid to a scientist to a channeler? It sounds challenging, if you will.
It's actually quite simple, John and Mike. It's that when you open up the creative, intuitive, spiritual part of your brain that many people call the right brain versus the logical, rational part of your brain or the left brain, then things start to happen. And so I was in a laboratory just working. This was 30 years ago now. And I felt a pop in my head, and I found myself in the presence of Gabriel. So I'm just giving you the short version, but it can happen. And one of the things that I feel is important to share is that angels really want to talk to all of us. The more childlike we are, which means trusting and open and willing to be loving beings, the easier it is for angels to communicate with us. And in my case, they communicate through me.
Wow.
Pretty simple.
It sounds simple, but it seems like such a I can't imagine it. I'm understanding what you're saying, and it's like I can't imagine having this outside come inside and come through me. It seems. I guess I'm too close.
I
guess.
Can you explain how it happens? Is it a voice? Is it feelings? Is it how exactly does that happen to you?
Well, how did the two of you hear your own intuitive truth? It comes through your own thoughts, right? And you feel the truth. It's a feeling, it's a knowing. And when you start bringing through the truth of 12 archangels, they have I call it a very super high vibrational feeling because it's packed with so much love. But no, it's not that I hear 12 voices outside of my head. That's called schizophrenia, actually. I hear them and feel them through my own being, through my own intuition.
But
That's the way it's always worked.
How do you know which is which?
They come together as a team. They always communicate as a group. So they do have different feelings. So for example, if, here's a popular archangel is Archangel Michael. And Archangel Michael is the angel of truth and justice and courage. And this angel will come through with, I don't know how to explain it, guys. It's like you stand up straighter. And that the truth is just going to come through and you can feel braver.
So you feel you take on their personality and I lack a better way to say, his truthfulness, his boldness, his courage. So you feel that differently in your body, as opposed to, is there some other archangel that is a little more docile and low key and easygoing?
Well, I wouldn't say that any of them are docile. They exist to help human beings to wake up and to choose love and to work with love as a power. So they're all equally powerful. And again, they work as a team. Their number, which I call them the 12 archangels, is actually symbolic. The number 12 is a reference to evolution, just like we all change as we go through the months, the 12 months of a year. We can change in the 12 hours of a day, right? I mean, there's 24 hours, but the 12 hours on a clock face. So their number is symbolic and it means, hey, evolve, wake up, choose love, be kinder to each other, tell the truth, have some integrity. Where are your values? That's what angels are about.
So when you channel, say, Gabriel, what's his difference between Michael? What do you feel differently?
Gabriel is the archangel of communication. So Gabriel, that's the first of the angels that I met, appeared to me with a trumpet, and that's the only way I recognize the angel, is because I remember, oh, yes, I believe that must be Gabriel. But the angel spoke to me telepathically and said, and again, this is 30 years ago, but I still definitely remember as if it was yesterday what happened. So the angel said to me telepathically, Belinda, we have new work for you to do. You need to help human beings remember that they are God's divine children and that they have power and potential and help. They have help to do what their souls are really asking them to do. So that was Gabriel. Gabriel is a straight shooter, very much brings through the messages and the energy of the angels with language, because that's Gabriel's job.
And Raphael?
Raphael is the archangel of creativity, of the protector of relationships, of helping us to let go of the past, where Archangel Michael helps us to have courage for the future. So Raphael really helps us to connect with our own soul and our own spirit, because we're more than just this ego that, no offense, guys, wants to talk about dinner.
Right. Belinda, let me ask you this though: why you? Is there? Do you think there's a reason why it happened to you at that time, and why you particularly as a person?
The only thing that I can come up with after working with these angels for 30 years is that my soul must have agreed to do this work before I was born. And the other thing about Belinda is I love to love. I love to love, and they know how to move my ego out of the way so that that's what I can bring through is love.
So that was it, that one time in your life. It's never happened again.
To be drafted by the 12 archangels only took one time.
Yeah.
You don't argue with those angels.
Okay.
You know that she's in constant. You're saying that you're in constant communication. You're able to channel them at will. So if you just, I assume, place your attention on them, they are there for you to speak through you whenever you need. Or is it just that they're always in communication and they will interrupt you in your daily life to give you a message as opposed to accepting and allowing them?
It's kind of like Belinda is a canoe on a river, and the river is the 12 archangels. So when my mind notices that, hey, I'm the canoe and I'm touching water, they're always there. But I want to make it absolutely clear the 12 archangels and all of the angels are here to help everyone, and they communicate to all of us through our own gut intuition, through our feelings, through that part of us that just knows and feels. They really want to help everybody. So, I mean, that's an important part of my message is if you need help from angels, even if you don't believe in them, say, okay, I'll give this a try. Thank you, angels, for helping me with whatever it is. Thank you for showing me that you're here for me. Help me to get through this tight spot. And you're gonna feel them, and you're gonna feel better. And that's how you become the scientist, saying, okay, angels, if you're real, if there's really help for me, prove it to me. They're not insulted by that. They understand how human beings operate and how they think and how skeptical we are.
So they're here to help us, and we're so. What is the actual idea of humanity? What is humanity here for, and why are the angels helping us here? Why is there? What is the relationship between us and them that's created this whole life of humanity with the angels helping us? What is there has to be some connection there between the two.
Absolutely. So John and Mike, they call Earth schoolroom Earth. And they say that our souls agree to come to this planet to learn through our egos how to say no to fear, which is very popular, especially these days, and say yes to love. And love is a transforming power. Love is what brings miracles into our lives, into our reality. And the angels teach us that we actually, just like God, just like the Creator, we are creating our lives, but we forget that. And when we sink down, it's kind of like a quicksand. When we sink down into fear, then we lose our power. We lose our manifesting power to create happier lives. So angels want to help lift us up out of that quicksand of fear so that we make healthier choices, better choices, more loving choices, and life gets better. But that's what Earth is about. We actually get to experience all the fear that we want to experience. It's not really my thing, but as the angels will tell you, and as you know, fear can be very popular on schoolroom Earth.
Absolutely. I need the angel of dieting right now, if you will. I could use some of that. So what about channeling? Can anybody channel, or is it just certain people, or everyone has the ability to channel?
So channeling is just a word for communicating. It may
Hmm.
sound a little bit fancy, but it's really means to communicate or to allow communication to flow through you. In order to communicate with the angels or beings that are made of pure love, you need to be able to handle their vibration. So what does that mean? Well, you need to be able to tell the truth and to focus your mind on really listening. Angels do not, believe it or not, they do not like to give us messages of long range in the future because they say, guess what, human beings, you only want to know about the future because you're trying to have control over something. What we need you to do is to be here now. Be here now. What are you doing with your energy right now? So, what I have experienced in my 30 years of working with human beings is that every human being is intuitive, and every human being, especially the more open they are, which just means more trusting they are, then they can they know things, but they often don't know why they know things. Well, that's intuition coming from spirit. So intuition coming from spirit is the same thing as channeling. Some people do this through automatic writing. Some people do it through as I do it. If you ask me to channel the 12 archangels, I'm happy to do that. But we all are communicators with spirit, whatever our word for that is, whether that's love, God, different teachers that, for example, Master Jesus, angels, we all have a connection, even if it's to Mother Nature. What we need to remember is that that form of communication is really, really important, because as we access that intuitive truth, we also can access creative genius and awesome ideas for comedy shows and how to make, better meat products. I mean, it will all flow through. Whatever it is that you need, it'll come to you if you ask. I happen to ask
Understood.
angels.
We're going to ask you in a few moments if you could bring the archangels in, as you said. And before I even go into that, there's a question that John Galasso asked, and I had looked up this question to ask you, actually, because I was interested in understanding what the difference is between an angel and an archangel. And I had looked it up on the internet, and it said something about that the archangel was the chief messenger or a higher messenger. Is that correct? What is the difference then between an angel and an archangel?
So, John, that's from the human's perspective of what
Uh-huh.
the difference is between archangel and regular angel, because
Yes.
human beings like to have chiefs and managers and then middle managers and peons, right? The lowest level.
Right.
According to the archangels, they say that the arc for archangel means something totally different. It's a bridge, just like an arc connects 2 points. They say that they are archangels because they help the human mind connect to the human soul, the human heart connect to the human ego. So you see, angels, they don't care about hierarchy. What they care about is something that they call oneness, or being in our center, which just means being in a place where love matters the most. So I hope I've made sense with that, but they're not into bossing any of us around or other angels. What they are about is connections, helping us to remember that truly we are children of the great universe, and we have incredible potential if we would just tap in and use it.
I find this fascinating. I keep wondering if if is archangels actually speaking to you and through you, then is there an opposite side of this where it's something more evil, trying to push us into directions that may not be as good for us? I mean, obviously the archangels are a good force trying to get us to our center and to be loving beings. Is there another side to this, pushing us to not become our best?
On schoolroom Earth, and this is a schoolroom, we have something called the ego. And the ego is the only part of our humanity that can believe in fear. And fear is the opposite in vibration to love. So fear creates evil, guilt, anger, hatred, racism, thievery. So if we put our energy into fear, then we can do some mean things. That doesn't mean that the angels love us any less. It doesn't mean that God loves us any less. It means that the angels are going to give maybe a bit more attention because they always want to bring us back home to heaven, which just is the vibration of love. We can actually live in heaven here on earth. It's not wackadoodle crazy. It's for real. It's all about vibration. So can people sink down into evil or fear or what we would even call hell? They can experience that, but only their ego can experience that. So the angels never give up on those egos, because when you bring an ego back home to heart and soul, then the ego remembers, what's the point of being a bad guy when love feels so much better? To be
It's a very
kind
clear.
and compassionate feels so much better.
It's very clear. I understand exactly what you're saying. I'm just wondering, though, is it, when it comes to the evil side, and I understand you're saying the ego and fear brings you to these places, and that makes clear sense. A person that's spiritually aligned probably doesn't have that vibration to experience it, and probably could walk through life and not experience as much of it because it's not within their realm of their what they're giving off. They're almost protective in a sense. But I'm saying, is there if there's a physical or an ethereal archangel, is there a physical or ethereal demon? Let's say physical. I hate to say devil, but I'm saying a negative force, independent, just like there's a quality force and a negative force.
The way that the archangels teach this is they say that human beings need to take responsibility for what they think and that their thoughts manifest. So if there are negative entities or demons, or my favorite word for them is ooby-goobies. I know, not very professional, but the angels say human beings create those dark forces because we do that with our egos. However, what's more important is that the power of love transforms all fear. So even if we have negative thought forms that we didn't personally make, but we bump into on a dark alley, by focusing on love, not only are we protected, we transform that negative energy and we transform it back into love. And the angels just say, John, that that's a better use of your mental energy and what to think about.
Makes sense. Mike, do you, now she is able to actually, and if you said you'd be more than happy to have the archangels come through you now, and we could ask a question or questions to them, and they'll answer through you from them, and we could do that now. Oh my goodness, that gives us such an opportunity to, like, there's so many questions now that we want to answer. There would, there's so many things in the world that are going on you'd want to ask. Do you mind it? And in order to do that, is there anything that you prep yourself to do, or you just like open up to it and it's there? You just ask the question and it comes through.
I'm
now?
ready. You fire away.
Okay, this is great. I guess the first question would be, are we going to come out of this COVID thing with any normalcy from the past, like our past? Right now, things have been really, really difficult for the last 20 months. And where are we going in the future with this around the world, not just locally?
Our answer, fine men, is that you are living in a time of change, and you are living on a planet of change. What brings you joy and happiness will return to you, likely in new ways. But what has been outgrown and really doesn't serve the greatest good, it is going to turn to dust. It will fade away. We understand that you may not fully comprehend what we are about to say, but each of you, each human being, is a child of the Creator and capable and able of creating your very own reality. This is like you are living in a movie that is your movie, while your neighbor is in a different movie theater experiencing a different movie. So you may come through this pandemic a happier person. This would be our hope and prayer for you. A wiser person, a person with even greater integrity and vision. But in your neighbor's theater, if that neighbor is very, very attached to being a victim and focusing on that which is negative, then they may not come through this time of change with joy and happiness, because it is a choice. Where are you going to put your energy? Where are you going to focus your energy and focus your mind and focus your heart? Because you are the creator of your movie and the next chapter, the next scene in your film? Are you impacted by what the collective, the human collective, all of the people together experience? We say yes, but that doesn't mean that your movie needs to be dark and scary. Go to Divine Source and continue to go and ask for what you need. That helps lift everyone up. The future, from our perspective, is only going to get better because the pandemic and everything else that is happening on your earth, it is being choreographed to wake those who are sound asleep, to wake them up from slumber and say, do not see yourselves as victims. Find the power that you were created from that lives within you and make different choices. We thank you for listening. We are the 12 archangels of the central sun, brothers and sisters and friends who want to help.
Wow. That's now, which angel is that speaking at that moment? Because you said this, they come together as a group.
I honestly do not know. They all come together as a team. They all come together as one voice.
And I could ask another question, and you go ahead, Mike.
Go
I'm
ahead,
sorry.
John. No, go ahead. Yeah.
I'm just wondering. I can ask another question, and you'll be able to just automatically bring it back into that.
Yes.
Amazing.
I've done this
It's
for 30
fascinating.
years.
It's fascinating. I know it's fascinating to see actually happen. I'd like to know what our role is here in humanity. What is our individual roles as human beings here to help each other? What are we supposed to do to encourage the growth of people and humanity?
We thank you for this question. And we say that the greatest gift that you can give is to understand how powerful you are, John and Mike and your listeners. For you see, when you make wiser choices, choices based on love and trust instead of hatred and negativity, for one thing, it would be very helpful from all of the angels and guides in heaven, our perspective. Don't believe everything you hear on the news or you read on the news. Begin to go deeper. Truth is something that you can feel, and you can know it like the in-breath that expands your lungs. So if it feels like this doesn't make sense, it doesn't make good common sense, then trust that. But what you can do is sow kindness. What you can do is have faith and trust in the power of love. Keep your minds positive because you are like walking trash cans with the lids popping off when there's negative thoughts of yourself, unkind things that you say to yourself or that you think about others. All of those words have impacts. They are the greatest pollution that your planet knows. So we say the greatest gift you can give is to begin with your own self. Practice love, compassion, patience, tolerance, and by all means, forgiveness and gratitude need to be your best friends. And we thank you for your service.
Wow, that's fascinating. Mike, I'm sorry, you're going to ask a question?
No, I have more like of a historical type question. I mean, stuff that I guess I've read or learned, or so I'm just curious if there's anything that they can tell us about Lucifer's rebellion against God in heaven and what happened. Is that true? Is that something that happened? Is that stories that are told today, or is that something that really happened?
We have a different version of the story, and so we will give you our synopsis. In the very beginning, when Creator, God, Mother, Father, God, pick your terminology, sent the angels to create schoolroom earth, there was an angel who said, I am brave enough to create the thought form of fear. The angel's full name is Archangel Lucifer Michael. Lucifer means the light, the pure thought of Creator. Michael means the will, the truth, the expression of the truth. For a brief moment on planet Earth, the light, the pure thought separated from the will, meaning that human beings could think fearful thoughts, and that those fearful thoughts were not connected with the will of the heart, with the will of the soul. And from that, the ego was created, the one part of the human being that can think fearful thoughts, that can go dark, that can be harmful. And when their thoughts are separate from their will, and their will becomes free will, the free will can do things that are not based in love. It is easier for human beings to blame a team of angels and say that these angels belong to Lucifer, but we say it's a far bigger story. It's a far more important story. Because where there is light and where there is will, there is the opportunity to rise up in truth and in love and in unity, and to take responsibility for your own thoughts and for your own will. Otherwise, all human beings can be what is referred to in history as the legions of Lucifer. Choose love. Choose positive thoughts that focus in the here and now. Who am I now? What can I do now to make a positive difference? Don't give your power over to the past. You have the power. You are the child of the Creator, made in God's image. Choose wisely. We encourage you.
Does this exhaust you coming in and out of that like that? Does that exactly take a lot of energy out of you, Belinda?
It does take a lot of energy. It does take a lot of energy.
I
But
would imagine.
the angels lift everything up with their love. If you've noticed the way they respond, no matter what the question is, they pack it full of love.
I have an interesting question that I would love to know the answer to. When you pass away, do you go into the light and get recycled back into the earth? And if you don't go into the light, will you not be recycled back into the earth as a physical being?
Our beloved friend John, let us explain. When it is time for you to leave schoolroom earth, your soul, and there's actually an angel in your being, your nature angel, that has given you your physical body. They travel across the rainbow bridge into the realm of heaven, the vibration where there is no fear. And they call your ego, your personality, to come with them. Most of the time, the ego is willing. If the ego is not willing, there are special troops and teams of angels to help bring that ego home. Because you see, it is the human personality that is so identified with the life that he or she has lived. In rare cases, because there are so many loving beings to help egos come home with soul. If that ego or a part of that ego is very, very, very lost, it may form something that you call a ghost. But we have angels that help with those as well. Now, once you have traveled back to heaven, you get to meet with your family and your loved ones. You get to celebrate. And then you go through something we call life review, where you get to edit the movie of your life. You get to look at your life and say, I wish I had chosen more love here. I wish I had spent more time with my children here. I wish I had followed this dream. And you get to live it, but you live it in the realm of heaven. And you get to heal your entire incarnation on the earth. And then if you choose to return to the earth, you are counseled for quite a while in earth time. And you can return. But with each return to schoolroom earth, you volunteer. Even if you forget, you volunteer to bring love where love has been missing. So before we bring Belinda back, have we answered your question?
Absolutely. Yes.
Very well then.
They actually answered my second question as well, because I was thinking about people on the earth that become ghost-like or spirits, trapped, earthly bound spirits. Interestingly enough, is there a religious connotation to any of this? Like, because as you're speaking to 12 archangels, if somebody is, let's say, Jewish or Muslim or Buddhist or whatever, how does that relate to you as channeling these archangels?
So what the 12 archangels have taught me, John and Mike, is that they are older than all religions. They're older than religion. They teach that religion is man-made, it's human-made, and that it does not always serve us as it might, because it can put someone in between the Creator, Mother, Father, God, even Master Jesus, or Master Buddha, or Master Muhammad, or King David. And it puts a system, almost a corporation sometimes, in between the human being and their source, whatever they want to call their source. So they believe, they teach that angels go beyond all religions, and they help people no matter their walks of life or the philosophies that they have grown up with. They say, just let us love you and teach you about love and how powerful you are. So this is their message.
So then you don't believe in a heaven and a hell?
Heaven, the angels have used those words. Heaven is a
Mm-hmm.
vibration where there is no fear. So
Mm-hmm.
heaven is a place that is a vibration. It's where souls
Okay.
return to, right? The 12 archangels of the central sun means the same as the 12 archangels of the central soul, the creator soul, where we all come from. Hell
Uh,
is the vibration of fear, the opposite of love. The opposite of love. Fear creates separation from the creator. Fear creates anger, hatred, violence, all of the things we can experience on schoolroom earth, but we don't have to experience on schoolroom earth. We can continue to bring in more heaven into our everyday life. And that's what the angels teach in their book, Lessons from the 12 Archangels, Divine Intervention in Daily Life.
You know, that leads another question, Peasy, for the angels, if you don't mind. If someone on this earth is a very, very bad person, let's say a murderer, killed children, people, and then he dies, does he have a chance after he's dead to repent for all that, or is he just punished forever?
What we say to you, Mike, is that yes, of course he gets a chance not only to repent, but to transform, to make amends. From the realm of heaven, where his soul now is, he can send help to those on earth who have been negatively harmed and impacted by his actions, because the only way he was able to create harm is that his ego became very, very, very separated from his soul. And so that ego needs to be healed and transformed. And love can do that. But then that being, that soul, will make amends and go out and teach others. Before you react, before you allow the hurt and pain and anguish in your subconscious to attack another, ask for healing for you. Think twice. Healing is available no matter what. All things are possible with God's love. All things are possible to transform.
well, Mike, so now that means that these people that are evil, have done nasty things, have an opportunity to correct it, and as well as raise their vibration by helping others. That's a wonderful thing to hear. That's great. That's great to know.
I'm sure. And also, what you were saying about does it does the do the angels transform a certain religion, Christianity or whatever? I've read that in many different books, like the Talmud, and archangels have appeared in different writings in different religious books.
But different names.
So no, I think the same names.
I don't know. I mean, like, I remember reading like they had, I guess, like in the Muslim tradition, it was the jinn. It was like a spiritual evil spirit or something. It was called the jinn, and in the I think it was in Japanese, it was Muga. They had these different names for like these different energies that would
Yeah.
come in to interact with humanity to either make it, in the Kabbalah, yeah. Um, this to me is fascinating. I find it fascinating that you're able to easily have this go in and out. What do you say? And this is you speaking, Belinda. If somebody says to you, "Does having an angel channel through you? Oh, that's evil." A lot of people look at it with fear and dogma of oh, that's an evil thing that the person's doing, channeling. They're taking over your body. They're inhabiting you, or whatever. What do you say to that person that has that fear-based mentality?
I would say that they don't understand angels. that that's not the
Mhm.
way that it works. We are all connected. Our souls are all connected. So just like we're having this conversation now, loving beings made of light and sound, that just means pure thought and pure emotion, want to give us help and want to give us loving messages to share. What I have learned in my journey of going from a scientist to channeling the angels for 30 years is that if I ask Mother, Father, God, Creator, Divine Source, Divine Oneness to fill me, Belinda, with unconditional acceptance of myself and what I'm here to do and who I am, then I don't experience being judged or rejected by anyone. I only experience the love and acceptance that I have within me and that I'm willing to share with others. The angels teach us that we create our lives through the help of a very important divine law. The divine law is this: as above, meaning heaven, so below, meaning earth, as within, which means our hearts, our feelings and thoughts, so without. So if Belinda brings in more of heaven's love, and that's what I walk and that's what I talk, then that's what I create in my reality. And that's what's going to come back to me. And that's exactly what happens. And I say that from my scientist brain.
Of
Hey,
course.
peace.
Hey,
I
yeah.
have I have one more question that maybe should bring the angels in. I don't know if it's more of, I guess, a curious thing to me is when people pass away, supposedly there are people that you can go to that are able to communicate with your loved ones. Is this something that truly exists, or are these people,
Charlatans.
yeah, pulling the wool over our eyes, for a better lack of a word?
What the angels are going to teach, and what I, Belinda, have experienced, is that there are many clear and integral mediums, those who communicate with loved ones in heaven. I've had to do that many times to help people. So it all depends on your intention and what you seek. What I have learned, Mike, is that loved ones living in heaven or the deceased, they appreciate respect. They appreciate being loved and honored. They also want to help. If they have said cruel or mean things or done things that they regret that has caused hurt or pain, they want to make amends for that. They really, really want to help. And so it's all about vibration. If you want to have the help communicating with a loved one in heaven because maybe you just don't trust your own intuition or feel that you can actually do it, even though your loved one is going to totally be after you, giving messages all the time because that's what they do, then trust your heart and ask your guardian angels. Ask for your loved one in heaven to bring you someone that you feel in your heart you can really trust. And receive the messages with the love and the healing intended, because we do not die. And there's so much, much healing that can happen with our loved ones in heaven, and that we can receive from them that they were not able to give us in their earthly life because they had egos. Did I make sense?
I
Did I
heard the
answer your
greatest line.
question?
I think that did that answer your question, Mike?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
I heard the greatest line. I don't know who wrote it, but somebody wrote the ego stands for edging God out,
Hmm.
which is, I thought, a wonderful line, because you're edging God out every time you're in ego-based reality, which is interesting. I have to say, we're running out of time here, and you are a fascinating person. I also can tell that you're deeply peaceful, and I would like to almost wonder if Belinda Womack ever gets angry at somebody, or if somebody spills coffee on you in a diner or something. If you seem like such a very easy going person spiritually. You're I guess you're spiritually based is keeping you in a very nice state. I'm wondering, do you ever get angry? Do you ever get upset easily or anything? And being that you have these archangels around you all the time, are they constantly probing you or prodding you to stay on the path?
I do have a lot of support to stay on the path.
Yeah.
I don't get angry often. And when I get angry, I transform it. I deal with it. I face it. I own it. I say there's work for me to do. There's something for me to transform. I prefer peacefulness, and I definitely prefer love over fear all the time. It's a much, much happier way to live. You know, John and Mike, what the angels teach us is we are children of the Creator. It doesn't make us immature, but they say, ask for the miracle to experience a happy childhood, no matter your age, and that your childhood gets happier on the hour. Experience it. It changes the world for the better for all concerned. And it's definitely the way I prefer to live. Absolutely.
And you could clearly see it in the way you sparkle. So I really appreciate you being here, Belinda. You are definitely very fascinating person, and I thank you so much for coming here. Hey, can you tell us how do we now? I understand that you do several things. You do consultations, and then you do classes, and there's online courses and webinars and personal attention as well. All of these things are, I'm sure, keeping you really busy. And of course, we have your wonderful book that we'll put here on the screen that we'd love encourage people to purchase. It's called The Lessons from the 12 Archangels by Belinda Womack. And you can reach her on, I assume it's belindawomack.com. And is that where we go as well in order to get information about your online classes and seminars and personal as well information from you? If somebody wants to personally contact you to have a conversation with you about their questions with the 12 archangels.
So there is a contact form on my website on belindawomack.com. And if you visit my website, there are two gift offerings. One is a 14-minute channeled meditation to help lift your vibration up. It's going to make you feel better, right? So that you can feel what that love and heaven feels like. The other gift is a free course that's an online course called Soul Connection, so that you have some help and support connecting with your own soul and what it's trying to do to help you all the time and guide and direct us. So both of those are available on my website. And I also have a Podia. It's belindawomack.podia.com, where all of my classes are. But you can get there from belindawomack.com, whatever's the easiest.
I don't know,
That's wonderful.
I feel very peaceful right now. I don't know why.
I'm telling you, talking to Belinda just keeps you in this nice, relaxed. She's comfortable to be with. Yeah. You actually, your whatever it is that your beat or energy is producing, it puts it over all of us, if you will. You know, it's pretty nice.
That's good. That's a good thing.
Yeah, Belinda, you are delightful.
That would be the 12 archangels.
That's not you. It's the 12 archangels.
No, yeah. I got a nice vibe right now. I just want to, I feel happy.
Well, check out belindawomack.com and you could raise your energy more from that wonderful meditation, which we could all use. Thank you so much, Belinda. Once again, it's belindawomack.com. Please go see her and feel free to contact her personally if you have any questions for the 12 archangels, as well as produce and get her wonderful book or see one of her seminars. That would be wonderful. And I wish you much luck and health for the rest of 2021, Belinda. Thank you for coming on and sharing some time with us.
Thank you both.
Stay well and healthy. That was
Uh,
really amazing, Mike. She's a wonderful woman, and you could clearly see when she talks about energy, she has an energy beat that's very attractive, very level.
I need to drive around with her all day, so I stay very very even keeled.
I, I'd like to put Belinda in a New York City cab with me and say, Belinda, please,
No,
it's just so we
I
can
would have
keep
put
it
like
all
a
down. Yeah,
like an audio thing, like, you know, take it easy,
yeah,
Michael.
over and over. I find it fascinating though what she does. I can't
Awesome.
wait to rewatch this myself and be able to focus on it a
Yeah.
different way. But once again, I want to thank Belinda and for her time. She did a wonderful job, and I'd love to have her back. Also, we'd like to thank our talent booker, which is John Galasso, which you could reach here at justlaugh.org. He's our talent manager for our show, A License to Rant. And if you like the show, press the subscribe button, or press the like button or down button, and give us your comments as well. And we also want to thank.
He's got a new nickname, Johnny Vertigo.
Yeah, he's been a little dizzy. And also we want to thank Leland, the voice of God from below, that makes all this mechanical stuff happen and software happen down there. Is he down there? Yes, he is.
Yeah, he's there. He's there somewhere. You can't ever hear him when he comes on. When
All he was here is I am here.
When this plays again on YouTube, you never hear his voice. I don't know why, but it's okay.
All right, we'll see you on
All
the
right,
next
Johnny.
show. Thank you, Mikey Sausage.
I'm too calm.
See you later. And by the way,
right
let's leave our egos out of this. Leave my dinner out of this for the future.
All right. Have a good night, my boy.
Take care. Take it easy. We got big headsets on.